It's not every day you see a unit swap out its head and legs for tentacles and lightning. Well, like, if I have to send something in to lick a battery and get penetrated, then of course it's gonna be the hobbits. So go ahead, Tempest Lich, make it rain pain. It actually rains pain. Are you kidding me? This thing makes Thor look like carpet static. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. Now, last episode, many of you guys may remember that we uncovered what's probably the biggest secret tabs will ever get. And we opened the door. After years, we finally get to see what's behind it. And I kind of figured there would be a couple of big secret units back there or something like that. But it turns out it was hiding a bunch of statues to the old tabs gods. And after mercilessly mocking them for a little while, they finally revealed that they were actually guarding some kind of golden portal, which is unlike anything that we've seen before. So, of course, I dove into it head first, and it teleported me to heaven? Or at least that's what I'm calling it, to the land of the good faction. Like, it was a lot. I definitely recommend checking that video out after this one, because we don't get to take a look at any of this today. Like, apparently this was only half of the equation. There's supposed to be another door out there somewhere, which means there could be another portal, and another realm, and another faction. And I think I have a good idea where to start looking. Everybody knows the medieval map that has the door on it, but a couple of years ago, the developers released a spooky version of the same thing. And like, it's easy to just disregard it as being a holiday reskin, because that's what it is, but if that's the case, then there should be another door. It's a different map, but it's the same thing. Or at least, there was another door. It's not quite the same thing, or at least not anymore. Like, I didn't open this, I didn't do this. I just showed up and it looks like somebody else managed to kick the door in and install some kind of waifu glory hole. That's pretty creepy. Oh, and they smashed all the god statues. Great, no witnesses. I mean, it makes sense. If you're gonna pop a squat over a hole full of tentacles, then you don't want any gods judging you. For the record, I didn't have a problem sticking my head in the golden portal, but this I have a problem with. I really don't want to go down there. Oh, what? We're actually gonna go under the map? Yeah, that looks like the kind of thing that needs my head stuck in it. What did we just see? Okay, what? I mean, I guess I shouldn't really be surprised. Look, of course, if there's gonna be a Tabs Heaven, then there has to be a Tabs Hell. Or if there's like a Tabs Olympus, then there has to be a Tabs Hades. Or Underworld. Like, I don't know what to call this, because it's just called Fantasy Evil. And that name sucks. But at least the map is really cool. Even though, like, if this is where bad units go when they die, I kind of would have expected there to be more shredded, impaled, incinerated, blown up hobbits. Maybe that's something we'll have to fix. Of course, we'll have a little help with that because we also unlocked the evil faction, being 7 new units and 1 secret unit somewhere. I really appreciate the fact that they don't have these things super well hidden anymore. I don't have time to go on an Easter egg hunt. Just give me whatever kind of weird spine whip you've got for me. Yeah, it's an infernal whip. That looks amazing. We'll work our way up to things and start with the cheapest unit in the faction being the Shadow Walker, whose blade seems to be a whole lot brighter than he is. I think he was supposed to cut holes for his eyes, but he cut them in his shirt, so now he just kind of has nipple holes. I'll give it up. Okay, going into battle blindfolded and heavily susceptible to purple nurples is a bold strategy. We'll see if it pays off against the Brawler. I feel like this is a pretty good matchup. You know, it's 1v1, the money is fairly even. We've got our Norwegian Viking against their Meth Viking. I can't imagine he'll be able to teleport behind us and then get wrecked. Okay, so he's not a full-blown anime villain. You know, he can teleport behind you and say it's nothing personal, kid, but then gets chopped like an onion. I just assumed they were called Shadow Walkers because everything seems dark to them. But let's try them against ranged units, because like, the one thing ranged units don't want is for melee units to close the distance, whereas these guys immediately close the distance, so you'd think they would be really effective at dogpiling into a corner. Why would you guys not go behind each individual unit that's closest to you? That doesn't make any sense. Now you're just giving them time to miss, because the archer is also blind. You gotta be kidding me, guys. Like, you had every opportunity to win there. Here's the ultimate test for these guys. We're gonna put a couple of melee units in the front, and then way behind them, we'll put some ranged units. Now, if they shadow walk to the ranged units, then they're amazing. If they shadow walk behind the melee units, then they're about as useful as an air conditioner in the Arctic. I'm hoping they kinda do both. A little of both is kind of disappointing, but not fully. Like, if they can get to the back line, skipping the front line, then that's useful for strategies. You could choose just a couple of these guys to shadow walk in and break down siege weapons or musketeers, ranged units in general, but if it's a gamble, then it's a tabs unit. The next unit we get to take a look at is called the Exiled Sentinel, and it seems to be a 7-foot-tall ginger that's ribbed for your pleasure. Weird. I swear I don't have a grudge against the archers, by the way. Like, I don't mean to pick on them. It's just that they're like the base ranged unit. They're a great litmus test to see whether or not this thing actually is a walking ginger cactus. And if I blow it away with bombs or with bullets, then I'll never learn anything. Okay, so the shields do block projectiles, but then they transform into battle axes? Okay, that's interesting. I think it might actually be a she. It's got a very feminine voice and it's wearing a corset? Kinky. Let's see how they handle a whole lot of arrows at once. Like, again, I don't want to freeze them or firework them or something like that because that's one step removed. I just want to see how effective they are at blocking projectiles, and the answer is very effective. I don't think a single one of them got hurt. Oh, there are holes in the map. That's good to know. Yeah, you guys better keep running though. She's coming for you. Dommy Mommy is ready for battle. Oh, that's interesting. So the weapons change back and forth. Like, if they're within striking distance, within melee distance, then they'll use the axes. But if they're far enough away, you know, within range distance, then they'll go back to the shield. That seems really powerful. Let's just say I'm trying Cupid because I want to see if those big metal shields can block love arrows. And not because I want to see the tall ladies smooching. If anything, this isn't gonna be a fair fight. I'm pretty sure Cupid outvalues them 2-1. Yeah, those are some large, spiky piles of women love. I think they added some more sound effects, Cupid. I'm hearing some innocent giggles in these piles. And we're also seeing a lot more death. Is it because of the spikes, or did they make Cupid more lethal? I don't know, I don't check the change logs. In all reality, how many love arrows can you have penetrating you until your libido causes a heart attack? Some of you guys might actually remember that the shield unit for the good faction was actually able to block a ballista bolt, but it used like a magic bubble. I don't know if a metal shield is gonna be quite as effective. There's only one way of finding out. Nope, especially because they're two shields, you can kind of shoot right down the middle. Holy crap, some of these units are nuts. Like, this is called the Mad Mechanic. Like, the Mega Man arms are one thing, but I can't tell if it's got like a tentacle-fueled jetpack or a bomb strapped to it. I guess the only difference is how good you are at driving. I just realized that we're a fair way into this video and I haven't dumpstered a single hobbit yet. So how about we send in about a dozen and hope that the Mad Mechanic can do a great job roasting them? Is that fire? Like some kind of hell fire? Science fire? I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it out there. You might want to get them off you, unless you want a 2-foot-tall waist of skin tugging on your nuts. I don't think that's the case. Maybe that pot on your back can do something now. I'm getting the feeling that might be like the source of his power, possibly. He's getting tossed around and thrown in the ground, and I hate it when the hobbits win. How about we try a whole bunch of mad mechanics against a Reaper? Because it kind of looks like they're converting his energy through their backpack into whatever they're firing. Like, if it is Hellfire, then the Reaper shouldn't really care. I'm pretty sure he showers in this stuff. This is his home field turf. I just want to see who would win, nature or technology. Oh, technology is just the right size to become a Christmas ornament, but they are managing to Ghostbuster him. Yeah! All right, so there were some casualties, but technology wins out. Oh, now they've gone and done it. They pissed off a god, but they pissed him off twice, so he sent 2 of himself. I just want to see what happens if the backpack short circuits. Like, if it becomes unstable, would it explode? When these things die, did they just fall over? Oh, they just fall over. All right then, Zeus, by all means, lay an ass whooping. You do you. Speaking of Greek gods, it really looks like this guy stole his look from one of Zeus's brothers, or both. Very much a mix of Poseidon and Hades. This is the Void Cultist. And you guys might remember that his counterpart in the good faction, Battle Granny, could summon some kind of heavy light hammer, which makes me wonder what the hell this thing does. Fortunately, there are a whole bunch of other cults and tabs for us to summon. You're like the Hay Balers, who are members of the Crop Cult, or at least they cosplay Crop Cults. Let's see how they do when they get hit with some kind of pentagram of swords. I don't know if that killed any of them, but it definitely knocked them over and weakened them. I need something that's a little bit weaker. What if we line up a bunch of peasants and then try that again in slow motion? Because I want to see how this works. Yeah, it is a bunch of swords that I don't know if it's the symbol itself that's knocking them over or if it's the stab. The stab seems to do some amount of damage because a couple of them just died. Yeah, that seems really strong. Like, complete crowd control. They're not gonna get up and hit you anytime soon. You can just shield bash them when they're down, and you've got a giant spiky shield. You don't even need to use the mace, even though I'm sure you will anyway. Are the peasants actually gonna get up and... They all got up. Okay, that's impressive. Maybe that symbol isn't as strong as you were hoping, or it is. So damage-wise, that messed up pentagram is a little disappointing, but it does serve a purpose. It's very good at controlling units and constantly pushing them over, so I'm wondering if it can push a rider off of its mount. Can it separate jouster from horse? Is it strong enough? Is it fast enough? Looks like neither. Now you're in trouble. If the jouster ever manages to hone in on you. Wobbly Horse does not have a great sense of direction down here. Where is it going? Back this way, my friend. Oh my god. Are we sure that the Shadow Walker is the only one blind down here? Can someone turn up a light maybe? Because he's ducking? Did you guys just see the horse duck underneath the symbol? It didn't get hit by it. In all reality, can you call it ducking? Is it just kind of accidental falling? This is about as painful as watching somebody try to thread a needle with a noodle. Come on, dude, either die or fall off the map or kill. You know, shit or get off the pot. The jouster is making the worst battle cries now. I'm guessing that's an update as well that I hate. Where are you going? Just hit it. Hit the thing with the thing, thank you. It's not every day you see a unit swap out its head and legs for tentacles and lightning. Well, like, if I have to send something in to lick a battery and get penetrated, then of course it's gonna be the hobbits. So go ahead, Tempest Lich, make it rain pain. It actually rains pain. Are you kidding me? This thing makes Thor look like carpet static. Could we maybe see that again in slow motion? Like, I don't think it even does anything. It just kind of floats there and maybe wiggles its wand a little bit. Before you know it, thunderclouds are opening up and hobbits are frying. Those are some powerful strikes. But what happens if one of them gets through? I think we might have one lucky survivor. I don't think you're gonna have any balls to grab onto, though. You might be out of luck here, bud. This is such a weird-looking unit with such a unique ability. I love it. Is it just gonna open another storm? Nope, it's just gonna step on it. How do you manage to do that without feet? Wonder if Snuffy could survive the storm, right? Because he's pretty much got his head above the clouds, so maybe he can avoid the lightning and run the Lich over? Yeah, if you have to bet on either magic or thickness, just go with the thickness. Maybe the Bone Mage's magic could contest the Lich? I somehow doubt it, which is why I have this as an 11 versus 1. There's just something about thunder that's a whole lot more effective at killing people than butthole spikes. But then again, you don't underestimate butthole spikes. I gotta have a lightning battle, right? Let's try 5 Thors versus 11 Tempest Liches. Now, I'm gonna say right now, I made fun of Thor, but it was in joking. I still think he's the god of thunder. He should be able to absolutely ruin these things because he's quite a bit more precise in his boltage. I'm having a hard time taking this one seriously because he calls himself Deathbringer, but he wears puffy pants. The two things are kind of mutually exclusive. Well, he costs 2,000, so let's see how much death he can bring to a god. I'm guessing Zeus is gonna have a real fun time hitting this guy square in the tits with lightning. Oh, okay, no, he closed the distance, and he's swiping with neon colors. I don't even know what he just did. Was it unimpressive, or did I miss something? Let's see him brawl with a couple of mace spinners. How about that? It should give me enough time to figure out what it is he's doing. It just looks like he stabs, right? He's got some weird little neon glow stick blades and he's swiping at them, stabbing them, and for some reason the mace spinners now scream like banshees, but... Or maybe that's him? I don't know, man. This unit is really throwing me off. I kind of expected something more. You see, this is what I'm talking about when I say more. More spikes, more swords, more intimidation. This is the Void Monarch, and I have so many questions. When the King of the Underworld rolls into battle with 2 swords in his 2 hands, you gotta wonder, what's the 8-foot-tall sword behind you for? I don't think I really want to know, but I'm sure the hobbits are about to find out. Oh! Okay, so he just transforms into a 3-story tall demon and absolutely crucifies everything. I was right, I didn't want to find out. I feel like that's one of those battles that we're just gonna have to send again because that needs to be shown in slow motion. He gets a good shot off, but then it seems as soon as he's a little bit overwhelmed, please get out of the way, Hobbit Corpse, then he just goes Super Saiyan 3 and all of a sudden, everything is in trouble. There's so much pink on screen. Wouldn't have expected pink to be the theme, but this is actually a little bit more like a Sailor Moon transformation than a Dragon Ball Z one. That is such a badass unit though. Holy crap, look at that. I mean, you can ignore the fact that his head is a little disconnected from his body, because he's about to disconnect a whole lot more heads from bodies. I love the fact that he sends things flying and that sword was with him. You know, like, it's a reasonable transformation. He brings it into battle. Like, I probably won't need this, but just in case. Not just in case I'm in danger of losing, just in case they piss me off enough. Like, it's huge. It's got wings. It's, like, blowing things up and kind of breaking reality. Really, really interesting unit. I want to take control of it, but I also just want to kind of watch it do its thing. We need more units like this, more transforming units, because I think the good faction has one as well. Was it the Chronomancer? Way better than turning into a friggin' tornado or something like that. Is everything dead? Yeah, everything's dead. Well, that is absolutely amazing. I once again almost forgot about the secret unit that we unlocked. You've got a real hard act to follow, Mr. Infernal Whip, but I mean, maybe somebody's into that kind of thing. I'd be willing to bet that Santa's elves have gotten whipped a couple of times. So maybe they're into it? I mean, in all reality, there could be something in those boxes that'll end up ruining this. Or not. It'll just be a vampire that literally eats your ass. Okay, that was not fair. I can't use randomness for these tests. I just wanted to make an abusive Santa joke. Just whip the peasants. It doesn't even matter if it's their thing or not. I just want to see how, oh. Okay, so for some reason, it's kind of an area of attack. You can hit multiple units with one crack of the whip, and they burst into Hellflame. Yeah, real weird unit. I'm not feeling some of these, but others are just surreal. Overall, the evil faction, pretty awesome. All right, you know what? I think that's gonna be it for this episode of Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, guys. Thank you guys so much for all of the support on the last video. It was like 14 on trending for gaming, which is, I think, the highest I've ever been. I really appreciate it. I want to play more of this. I don't think I'm going to play more tomorrow, but I will continue playing tabs as I normally would. I really want to have the evil faction face off against the good faction, and I think there are campaign levels and probably more secrets and stuff for us to find. So if you guys want to see more, as always, be sure to leave a like in the video, leave a comment letting me know, and maybe I'll return to transform into something cool again soon. But thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.